I want you to imagine there are little tiny gummy bears in between your molars, preventing you from closing down your teeth. Your voice needs a rest, needs a break. There's a difference between training and straining, and we want to make sure we're training, not straining. We're gonna start with this nice round lip for coughing, and we're going to slowly shift it around a bit. Ooh, ooh, you should feel a nice round back of your throat, and you should feel that larynx drop a bit. When you drop your jaw, our vocal tract physically elongates, and that is really important when we're doing this work. Now we're gonna switch it over to an My lips are still pretty round. Now let's make it a little bit shorter. You should feel a little bounce in your belly from your diaphragm engaging. So that's totally normal. Make sure that you get a nice solid open sound before you move on to this next step. Now we're gonna add in a gasp, I guess, but it's like a pitched gasp. You're gonna go, Now let's bring that down a little bit. Almost like someone did something and you're like, Play around with it, see how low you can get that pitch. Now let's try and add a little to it. Now try and take out a little bit of that C and make it a little bit more of like a glottal attack. And you really want to drop that pitch as you go with it. Try that out a few times and see how you do. If you're having trouble and the pitch is starting to raise up, think about that jaw being nice and low. And you can even use your hand to kind of help you feel that motion of the pitch going down. Make sure that you're only doing these a few times a day. It can be really aggravating for your throat, and we don't want to over aggravate your throat or your vocal folds, especially when we're working on transitioning our voice. It's really important that we have a nice, healthy voice. All right, now that we've got coughing down, let's try some throat clearing. It's a little similar, but this time, instead of having our mouth open, we're going to close it. But we are going to pretend that it's open in the back. So let's start with an open mouth, and we're gonna round it out like we're going, and you should feel the back of your throat open up. You really wanna make sure that there's a lot of space back there in the back of your throat. Now let's close our lips, but keep the back of our throat open. I want you to imagine there are little tiny gummy bears in between your molars, preventing you from closing down your teeth. Almost like you're like a foghorn. Now we're gonna add a little clear to it, so a little fry, a little creak. Now we're gonna try and take the pitch out a little bit, and we're gonna use a little bit less air than we think. And if you open your mouth to talk, you might feel that larynx pulling down and that lower pitch happening automatically. Now we are going to be doing the last one today, which is sneezing, and which is potentially one of the harder ones to do when we're trying to keep our larynx low. So let's give it a go and see how we do. First thing we're gonna do is make some square lips with our mouth, like this. Once again, we want the back of our throat nice and open, gummy bears in between our molars to help keep our jaw from clenching. We don't want that jaw to be closed tight. We want it to be open and round. Now let's add a chew to the end of that. So we're gonna go chew. And we want that pitch to drop as we chew. Chew. Now let's add in making it a little bit shorter. Chew. My lips are staying round. I'm keeping the space in the back of my throat. Achoo. Now we're gonna try and take away a little bit of the pitch, but keep the achoo. Ready? Achoo. It's really important that you keep that jaw dropped and those lips square. Let me know how this works for you. Just a reminder, be patient with yourself through these. It's hard, okay? Remember to take your time and take it easy with this. These exercises can be very vocally fatiguing, so you want to take them and do them in short spurts. Remember what I said about training versus straining. We want to train, we don't want to strain. If you are finding that your voice is still very fatigued after about 20 minutes, you're going to want to go back and not push so hard when you're practicing these. You should not feel super strained or super tired after about 20 minutes. And if you're feeling it after a day or a couple hours, especially pull back and take a break for a few days before you resume this practice. And talk to one of our teachers. Maybe they can help you get to where you want to go a little bit faster. You can book me or any of the other amazing teachers that work for yourlessonsnow.com. Any one of them can help you with these things, and just make sure that you're being patient and kind with yourself as you move through this voice transition. Woo! Why am I like this? Hydrate or dihydrate, as the kids say. Hello, fellow kids. Oh, hello. That was an accident.